Որ հետդ խոսամ, քեզ փող որտեղից, փողերդ մի ծախսի խնայի։
Ինչի մասին ես խոսում կամ ումից ինչ ես պահանջում։
Իմ հորից եմ Լսի դու ձեռ ես առնում։
Լտոնդ փոխի։
Ռադ, մաքրվի, ջամա, մաքրվի։
Ուշ չեմ հասել, ուղղակի ներքևում պապայի հետ էի խոսում, չէի կարողանում զանգել։
Ես չգիտեմ պապատ ինչ խաղ է խաղում, բայց կարծես դու էլ միացար իրեն։
Հիմա իմ հարցը դնում ես մի կողմ։
Ճիշտն ասած ուզում էի պապայիդ հետ խոսալ այս թեմայով, բայց
Հերու գնալ, հերու մնա ինձ անց դեպիլ դեպքով մի նայի վրես ներվայն անում եմ։
Թողտել տանեմ պապի մի բառից հասկանում ես։ Մատաղում եմ քեզ։
Իմ աղբոր երջանկությունը ավելի կարևոր է, քան իմ ինքնասիրությունը։
No one was ready for this moment when the house door opened and everyone inside became afraid of what would happen after the next step. Not normal fear, fear of a confrontation that could break everything. Tell me honestly, where are you watching this story from? From Syria, Algeria, Saudi Arabia, Egypt? Because what's coming in this episode will make your heart beat at the same speed as the events. Today we're talking about episode 66. From the moment everyone stood in front of the door, not knowing who would be the first to face the truth. The door opened and Leo walked in. His steps were slow but steady, like he was entering a battle, not a visit. His eyes when he entered didn't go to Lea, they went to his father. A long moment of silence, as if time stopped, and everyone was waiting for the first word. Lea was standing, her heart beating fast, afraid, not of Leo, afraid of what might happen between them after this meeting. The father sat on the chair and said in a calm voice, but with a warning tone, "Sit, let's talk calmly." But Leo didn't sit immediately. He stayed standing and said, "I came to listen, not to reconcile." The sentence fell like a spark. The mother tried to calm things down. "This is not how things are done." But Leo cut her off. "This is how it's been for a long time, but you were silent." Lea stepped closer. "Leo, let's talk without anger." But Leo didn't look at her, as if he was afraid that if he did, he would weaken. At that time, outside the house, Ava was standing far away, watching, a slight smile, as if he knew that everything would explode from inside without him interfering. "Now they will start talking," he said in a low voice. Back inside, the father raised his head and looked directly at Leo. "You want the truth? I'll give it to you, but not from one side." Leo laughed sarcastically. "From your side, or from the side you always hide?" Here, Lea became more tense. She felt the conversation was getting out of control. The father continued, "I made mistakes, but not everything is as it's being said." Leo stepped closer. "Then say it. What is not as it's being said?" The father paused for a moment, clearly choosing his words carefully. "There are people playing with us, trying to make you see me in one way." Leo understood immediately. "Avo?" The father didn't deny it, but continued, "Avo is not innocent like you think." Here, the first real tension, because for the first time, the conflict was no longer just between past and present. It became between two versions of the truth. Lea stepped in quickly. "I don't want to know who was right and who is wrong. I want to know if we can continue." The word was clear. Continue. Leo went silent. For the first time, he looked at Lea. His eyes were full of exhaustion. "If we continue, we have to be honest with ourselves." And suddenly, the door knocked. Everyone turned, and the tension increased. Grisho entered, and with him, Manon. The atmosphere froze, because their presence at this moment was the worst timing possible. Manon entered confidently, as if she wasn't a stranger to the place. She looked around, then said, "Looks like I came at the right time." The father stood up suddenly. "Who allowed you to come in here?" Grisho replied quickly, "I brought her, and we need to talk too." Here, the scene exploded. There were three conflicts at the same moment. Leo versus the father, Avo from afar versus everyone, Manon versus the whole family. Part 2. Lea felt everything was collapsing. The voices were loud, the tension high, and there was no control anymore. She shouted, "Enough!" Everyone went silent. "I'm not a game between you, nor a decision you make at my expense." The words had an effect. Even Leo went silent. But here, the first big twist. Manon laughed and said, "Unfortunately, you're not just a game. You're part of a bigger plan." Everyone was shocked. "Lea, what do you mean?" Manon stepped closer. "There's something no one told you about your father and about what happened before." The father shouted, "Stop!" But Manon didn't stop. "It's not just an old story. There's a new story being written." Here, Leo started to doubt. "What are you talking about?" Manon looked at him. "I'm saying that everything that happened might have been planned." Silence. Terrifying silence. Second twist. Grisho suddenly said, "And maybe there are people inside this house who are not telling the whole truth, until now." And he looked directly at the mother. The mother got nervous. Lea noticed. "Mom?" The mother tried to deny, but her eyes betrayed her. Here, Lea collapsed. "Are all of you lying to me?" Leo felt the situation was out of control, but at the same time, he had a feeling that there was something much bigger. And in all this chaos, someone was standing outside, listening to everything. Avo. He smiled and said, "Perfect. Everything is going exactly as it should." And here, the final moment. Leo looked at Lea, but this time there was no clear love. There was doubt, fear, and a question. If everything was a lie, then what are we? Lea didn't answer, because she herself no longer knew. And in this collapse, the story reached a much more dangerous stage. And if you feel how every detail is growing, this is exactly the kind of events we try to deliver always on TK Digital TV, moment by moment, with every feeling. Final shot. The mother crying silently. The father standing, broken but stubborn. Leo lost. Lea shattered. And Manon smiling. And the question this episode left, if the whole truth comes out, who will still be standing? And what's coming will be much harder.